Alright, welcome to part 3 of my European trip from 2018. We are in Dublin. Sorry I don't have any footage of me arriving. This is a reverse shot of me leaving. And so here I am, taking my first video in Dublin.
Have arrived in Dublin.
And taking a walk down onto Grafton Street, straight to visit my good buddy Philip.
Alright, so one of the reasons I wanted to make it here is to be here with this man right here. All the way from Vancouver to be with Phil Lynott today and tomorrow. We're here at St Fintons with my buddy Howard Myers, who I've not seen for going on probably 40 years or so.
40 years.
He gave me a ride since it's raining. And we found Philip's grave right here, and it's right here on the floor next to us. And we can see it. So I'm sure I'm not the furthest travelled to come here, but I've come from Vancouver basically to make this pilgrimage and say hello. And a lot of memorabilia and stuff here on the grave site. Well respected. I was at the statue last night. Had a beer on behalf of Philip, and we're here at St Fintons. It's not raining. It was pouring down this morning, but it's okay now. The weather's cleared.
So after spending some time with Philip at his gravesite, it was time to move on. We did help in directing a few more people to where Philip was. And it was back in the car and on to Howth Head. It looked a little cloudy when we got there, but by the time we found a parking spot and got out and went for a bit of a walk, it had cleared up quite nicely.
Here we are on Howth. What is it called this?
Howth Head.
Howth Head. Beautiful. You can see Wigan.
On a clear day.
Oh, that dark spot over there. Oh no, that's just rain. So we're looking out, we're looking east, kind of towards the Isle of Man.
So he's back in the car and off to Howth itself and find somewhere for lunch. And a place I checked out before was this place at the Howth railway station. It has a little pub underneath, and so we went in. And I got my first ever Guinness. Never had a Guinness before in my life. And I thought I'd save it until I actually got to Dublin. So we headed off across town, back through Dublin, and then to the south, past through Dunlegary, down the coast road, and eventually ended up in Brae.
Well, I'm certainly getting to see places I wouldn't have seen otherwise. Here we are at the waterfront at Brae. It's windy here too, but not as it was in Catalonia.
So it was fun times in Brae. Little bit of a break with Howard for ice cream, and then it was back off into Dublin. I think this is Phil Lynott's house, I'm not quite sure.
It's a little miserable in Dublin today. It's raining, it's a little windy, but you got to make the most of it. No bike riding as I'd planned, so the idea is maybe I'll take a tram somewhere, see how it goes. I'm going to go and see a gig tonight. Michael Chapman. This bridge is very bouncy. The bouncy bridge in Ireland.
So with the weather not cooperating, it was time to go to plan B, and plan B was riding the LUAS, which is the public transit system, tram system throughout Dublin. It stretches north, south, east and west, and I took footage of just about everything. So it was good to have a look at the people of Dublin and the surrounding area. And of course those lovely Irish accents were everywhere. To give you an indication of how windy it was, just watch this guy's jacket blowing in the wind as he's trying to fix the machine. It's amazing how these trams look all the same. I think they're all made by Bombardier. Anyway, it was a nice spot here. This is a spot that I was planning to actually ride the bike along this canal. So it was good to actually pass by it and actually see it. The music you're listening to is called Riding the LUAS, inspired by this very day of travelling on the trams in Dublin. So spent the day on the trams. At night, went out, had a bite to eat, went to see Michael Chapman. Just a solo performance, and then it was a goodbye to Philip. Little goodbye on the way back down Grafton Street. And the next day, catching a double-decker bus, which was no easy feat with luggage, and off to Barcelona. About a 3-hour trip. Saying goodbye to Dublin. My thanks to Howard Myers for his hospitality during my stay in Dublin. Made it so much better. So here's an actual footage of me flying out of Dublin and on my way to Barcelona. Stay tuned for part 4 of my escapades and cycling in Barcelona.
Well, here we are, we made it. There's Jose.
Hi Eva. Hi Karen.
Beautiful.